Hello, my name is Giovanni Flores. I am the owner of O.G Visions Lab. We have been operational since 2016, and today I'll be showing you where all of the work is done. Here we have one of our stations where a lot of the technical work is done. We do quite a few things here. If we need to repair any frames, if we need to, change a screw, a nose pad. This machine, for example, is a wax machine that blocks the lens that comes as a blank from our vendors. And we block that lens because it gets cut in one of this G2 generator that we have here at the corner that I will be demonstrating in a little bit. And we have an AIT blocker, a manual blocker that blocks the lenses before we actually cut it so we can install it over to our frames, which I will be showing as an example in just a second. We also have a lensometer, a very important tool in this industry, where we are able to see if the lenses are accurately placed through the measurements that are taken by the optician onto from the patient in order for the lenses to be correctly made. After all the blocking is done, whether it be through an AIT manual blocker or a 990 wax blocker, the procedure goes as following. It either goes to a surfacing machine, which is a G2 generator, and or a 7E generator, which cuts the lenses onto a specific frame with the measurements that the optician takes from the patient. A lens, before it's processed, actually comes in a blank that looks similar to this. This here is a progressive blank, and through this progressive blank, it has to get blocked with one of the wax machines that we have. After it gets blocked and it sits for a couple of minutes in order for the wax to harden, we actually bring it over to our G2 generator. This G2 generator cuts the lens and customizes it in order to give it the exact prescription that the optometrist prescribes over to the patient. After the G2 generator cuts into a blank like one of these, it transforms this blank into a lens about this size and or of different dimensions in order to get the right prescription that the optometrist prescribes over to the patient. When this lens becomes this form, this lens is a little bit more foggy in the middle. It's not as see-through as you can see. This lens gets sent over to an external lab where it gets a scratch coating, so you won't see the fogginess. This lens doesn't necessarily show that, but with a little bit of imagination, you can see that after the scratch coating, it is very see-through and it becomes a little bit like a magnifying glass. When we receive the lens after the coating, it will come like this, and we would block it with the AIT blocker, and then we will generate it with a 7E generator like the ones that I'll be demonstrating in just a second. Here we have our 7E generator, where we are able to cut prescription eyeglasses onto patients' frames. For this specific scenario, we have a pair of safety eyeglasses that was provided by one of our opticals, and the patient wants some lenses in order for him to be able to see while he's working. So I have pre-blocked this lens in order to cut it here, and I'm going to show you the procedure according to being able to cut a prescription lens onto a frame. So we traced this shape of frame in this machine. This is an Optronics 7E, where you put the frame onto these notches. Excuse me, I only have two hands. And you put it here for the tracer to be able to trace the frame, and the image can be transferred over to the machine. So I did this previously to making this video, and you can see that this shape resembles this shape as best as it can be seen through the camera. And so I will be cutting this lens in order for us to see the example. Here we go. And then we grab our dimensions, and we see and just block the lens and just press start. There it is. As you can see, right now the lens is actually being traced by those notches that you can see right there on both ends, the front and the back of the lens. And in a couple of seconds, it's going to start processing. And so after the machine cuts the lens, we're able to see the shape that was previously traced on the 4T machine. From here, we are give me 1 second. We are going to be eliminating the sharp edges at the end with one of our diamond edges. So we will turn this on. And begin processing. And once again, pardon me. In order to make this video, I wasn't able to get other hands to help me record it. But if you can see, it takes away the sharp edges. That way, the patient is not injured by the sharpness of the lens. Which a lot of the lens will still be not noticeable because it's a plastic frame. So here I will be inserting this lens over to the frame, and if you give me a second, I will show you how. So here we will insert this lens onto this frame after being edged by the 7E edger or 7E generator, and you will see how it fits perfectly onto the lens. So then we just deblock it. And now you have one prescribed lens. And you just follow the same procedure over to the left lens. And that is how you make prescription eyeglasses. We are very grateful of the provision that God has provided. You know, these machines are that part of that provision, and we are thankful that we are able to give a service to those in need. We are striving to grow our business, which we have over the last few years, and we are hopeful that if we win this grant, we are able to either put a down payment, or by the grace of God, pay off a scratch coating machine that will help us with the turnaround time in order for us to be able to go to other opticals and grow our business. I'm gonna thank all who's involved in this grant, and I hope that you guys see the vision see the vision of what we're trying to build here. Thank you. And if we're not the ones that win this this grant, I want to thank God for the opportunity. I want to thank you guys for the opportunity, and I'm going to bless whoever it is that wins this opportunity, because nonetheless, I'm sure we're not the only ones in need of a blessing of this magnitude. Thank you, and you guys have a wonderful day. God bless.